Very quick to the point. I love that word, incessant. It's becoming unbecoming for us. I am grateful to God that Honorable Gbajabia Miller made a statement and he said he would not assent to any for the new budget. He's not going to assent to any stuff if the Asu's demand aren't met. Why I'm happy is because the Nigeria government, our government, are beginning to see it, that it's high time we've had an emergency on the education sector.
Instead of emergency to be called good.
Yes, on the education sector. Things are getting worse by the day. Without education, this country will not thrive. We need to be educated. For Asuu, I don't know how to appeal on behalf of the government, because the children we do, the students, pupils we do not train very well today, we end up becoming the thugs that will kill the very well trained tomorrow. And this country is going, take for instance the NSAS. We saw what came afterwards. we just need we just need.
So what's the way forward now? You talked about the fact that yes, the legislature is doing something great. Bajab Bamilia has said some things right now, and yes, he's keeping to those words. But I mean, you're a Nigerian, and you formerly were a student before you became who you are today. And you've done so many projects. You've gone to the riverine communities. You've given our books. You've given our bags. You've given our uniforms. Right? What is the way forward for us? What is the way forward for Nigerian students? How do we stop? How do we end this incessant strike? And then how can students also develop themselves if things get better?
Without holding back, the federal government need to keep to the agreement. This agreement has been for decades, and the reason for the strike, incessant strike, is because this agreement isn't been met. Why go into an agreement if you're not ready to keep it? It's high time they are taking the bull by its horn to do the needful, and the needful would be for the benefits of the overall nation, because Nigeria has over 80 million youths. So they have to do the needful. They have Asuu have entered an agreement with them. It is now their
So they
turn
should keep to the
it.
terms of the
Keep to the
agreement.
terms of the agreement.
But what would you like to see in the education sector of Nigeria? What would you like to see changed? I mean, some people will say I like to see better classrooms. Some people will say I like to see tech. What would you like to see changed in our education system? What would you like to see change? Just one thing as we wrap up right now.
So many things, but I'll limit it to, like you said, one thing. We need infrastructure, infrastructure, and that should include encouragement for the teachers, the lecturers. Pay them as at when due and pay them well. We have the federal government have to pay them well. Let me give you a very serious instance. You see, nobody amongst us, the youths, should I say, the contemporary youths, don't want to teach. Youths don't want to teach because of the menial salary. Make it very attractive. They will work well.
All right. Hopefully, I'm going to ask Honorable Emiko to join me on Boko FM just now as I head to Boko in another 30-35 minutes, right? We'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for listening to the Students Corner radio program. But I'll take his words and I'll end with his words. He said, pay teachers well and they will work well. Aluta